Hello and welcome. Please join me as I show you how to make money and boost your experience points so you can level up quicker in Euro Truck Simulator 2. In this video, you'll learn effective strategies from when I first started playing ETS2. I, like others, struggled to earn enough money to upgrade my truck, expand my trucking business, or even keep my AI drivers happy, including paying for damages after some random AI driver decided they were going to turn left in front of my truck without warning, which was super annoying, but it does happen. The reality is it can cost a small amount to keep your truck on the road in the early days, and it might feel like your bank balance is going nowhere fast. You too can become one of the many players in Euro Truck Simulator 2 that earn millions, giving you financial freedom to roam and enjoy the game on a totally different level. So let's begin. Picking the right job matters. It really does. The way the game is set up is to challenge us truckers. It does make it more enjoyable. After all, it is a simulation game. And it is there to make us think about how we operate our business. It's not just about driving from point A to point B, which is great fun anyway, and it can be relaxing at times, checking out the scenery, seeing the sights, all that sort of thing. But yeah, I suppose that's for another video. Let's get back to it. It's also about navigating the complex web of supply and demand. Now, together, we will look at two different strategies to maximize your earnings, which will include selecting your profitable jobs, optimizing your routes, and managing your resources wisely. Now, when you look at the screen, the easiest option would be to choose the job with the highest price and take it. And it does sound kind of logical, because at the end of the day, you want to get a big payday for the distance you travel. So the further you travel, the more you get paid. It kind of makes sense. But please don't do this. You will be selling yourself short from the start and losing money. You'll also be restricting your options later on in the game for further deliveries, and it will hinder your future success. That's the only way to put it, really. I'll show you what my two strategies are, and they will, because I've done it myself, they will increase your job options and they will increase your profits. The first strategy, it's a bit of a lazy strategy. You know, if you're in no rush, you just kind of want to plod along, what you need to do is kind of go to new locations all the time. When you go to new locations, you unlock more jobs that are available in the cities that you discover. Now, you will also unlock more truck dealerships like Volvo, Iveco, Scania, and so on. The recruitment agencies you discover will improve the pool of drivers available to you later on in the game, and the opportunity to purchase your own garage in that town or city later in the game is also an option, as you've discovered the city early on. Yes, these jobs do pay less, hence why it's the lazy way of doing it. But you will definitely benefit in a non-money way for the purpose of growing your trucking company. And you will unlock achievements in games. Now, the next strategy is kind of a little bit more upbeat. We're taking a little bit from the first one, where we want to go to new locations all the time for this purpose, but we're thinking a lot more. Now, there is a simple way to find a better paying jobs, and it's so simple, it's kind of criminal, really. It's given to you on a plate. You need to sort your jobs by the price per distance, with the arrow facing down. This is going to give you the highest paying jobs for the distance you are driving. Now, if you're doing quick jobs and you're driving someone else's truck, you're not paying for the fuel, you're not paying for the road toll, and it is a pure slow burning profit machine. But it is slow. But I'm just going to assume you've done a few of these jobs and now you've got your own truck. So you're in the freight market. So you've got to think a bit more, because it's your money, it's your fuel, and it's your distance. Now, here we are in the UK, and the first job on offer is going to Bilbao in Spain. Yes, it is the best one that pays you per mile at €25.05 a mile, with a total income of €5,268. Great if you haven't been to Bilbao before, and it's also great if you want to go and discover a bit more of Spain. But if you're serious about making the money, have a little think about it, because the land distance you're traveling is only 196 miles, and you are paying €1,172 for the sea transport. Now, if you look further down, you'll notice we have Swansea to Plymouth. Now that journey again is 196 miles, but there's no ferry involved. So when you take off the cost of the ferry from the Swansea to Bilbao job, you will be making the same money as if you took the job from Swansea to Plymouth. Only difference is you will be able to literally get to Plymouth, deliver your load, pick up the next one, and move on to the next job quickly. It's all about the turnaround. Deliver and move. Whereas with the Swansea to Bilbao, you still have to go to Plymouth because that's where the ferry goes from. But when you actually get to Bilbao, hours and hours later on in the game. So potentially, if you'd done the Swansea to Plymouth one, you could earn the same money as the Bilbao plus extra work on top, which results in extra places to discover. You just need to think. I know it is a delicate balance, and it can be a tricky one to master, but just take your time. But if you're not in a rush and you don't want to get money quickly, then by all means, take the trip to Bilbao. The key to success in ETS2 lies in the game's economy. And obviously, you need to level up to be able to complete different skill levels so you get more challenge deliveries that offer the higher rewards and more fulfillment within the game as you drive along, because we all get bored maybe of doing curtain side trailers or other type of trailers. So you like to swap and change, but you need to up your skill level to be able to complete these. Now, after you complete your first jobs, you will be given the option to level up, but don't just randomly pick any skill. There is a strategy involved which will enhance your job options and give you these better rewards and the better options work-wise. Now, looking at the screen, we have ADR at the top. For no one that knows what ADR stands for, it is basically an acronym for European Agreement concerning the international carriage of dangerous goods by road, which is why it's always known as ADR, and it's simple as that. Basically, for carrying flammables, explosives, dangerous goods. We're talking fireworks, fuel, that sort of thing. Well, the next one down is the long distance. It speaks for itself, long distance, a word of warning. We're going to bust a myth basically, because a lot of people will tell you, max out your distance, max out your distance. No, don't do it. It is a bad move. It is a bad move. You should be focusing on your experience points. The quicker you get more experience points, the better off it is for you, the better jobs you have, the better rewards you have. It's really straightforward, but you need to focus on getting 3 of the main bonuses, which I will explain to you as we go down. Below the long distance, we have high value cargo, followed by fragile cargo, which is self-explanatory. These 2 types of cargo open up different jobs from the moment you get your first skill point. And then below them, we have just-in-time deliveries, which offer really high rewards as you go up the levels. And as long as you complete the deliveries, you'll get good rewards. Finally, we have eco driving, which for a beginner is a bit pointless, as you will not own a truck because you're doing the quick jobs. And when you do actually have a job, you'll be using the freight market. It's only worth filling this level up as you progress deeper into the game. Once the more important skills have been accomplished first, to earn you the points and to earn you the money. Okay, so if you just follow these 10 steps, 10 points, whichever way you want to call it, by fulfilling your skill boxes in this order, it will give you the best jobs and experience points, and most of all, the financial reward to take your trucking business forward. Now, the first thing we need to do is add 1 of the skill points into the long distance. This allows you to move more freely between cities at the beginning of the game. Next, we want to add 1 into the fragile skill set. Not only does it open up more jobs for you, but it gives you the best experience points for 1 skill point, and I think it's 22%. The next thing you want to do is add 2 just-in-time skill points to get the second best at 20%, and best of all, the 30% experience points bonus for these deliveries. Seriously, it will really push up you through the game a lot faster by doing this. The next thing you want to do, or the next step, is to add one high value cargo to get these job bonuses. Now, the best money and the best experience points you can get from jobs will be with these 3 bonuses: high value, fragile, and just in time. It will help you level up much faster and bring you rewards a lot quicker. As we're halfway through our plan, the next thing you need to do is max out your long distance skills all the way to the end if you can. And once you've done that, our next step will be to add 1 ADR and 1 eco driving. Now, ADR rarely goes with all those 3 bonuses I mentioned earlier. ADR relies on the minimum and maximum levels you have. Simply put, you get more money for maxing out 1 skill, for example, the long distance, which you would have done in the previous step. Our next step will be to start adding skills to take us from the minimum level. So we're talking 1 skill box here. So you start with the fragile, just in time, and finally the heavy cargo, since they will give you the most money bonuses. Then we move on to maxing out our skill points in the ADR section of the screen. Finally, we finish by maxing out our eco driving skill boxes, by which point you should have a bigger fleet, more drivers, and you will get the financial reward back for that. It's not so much a point, it's just something to make you aware. And just to remember, it can be a struggle to earn money and points in ETS2, but please remember, it's not a sprint, because the game isn't set up to run at 100 miles an hour. It's a long, slow process. It is a marathon, and it won't be done in an instant. But luckily for us, time is our friend. You've had an email from the bank, they want to throw more money at you, so your decision is, do you take the cash injection and go forward and expand your own trucking empire? Or do you sit tight, maybe pay the loan off you've had to buy your first truck, and then move on? These are all decisions you're going to have to make. Now, the quickest route to generate a passive income would be to take a loan from the bank. Assuming you do have your own truck, which you can use on the freight market whilst building your empire. So take the loan from the bank. Buy the cheapest truck you can afford. Now, I know it's tempting to buy a used truck with flashing lights and a good paint job, but avoid these if you can. The used trucks are used for a reason. They come with problems, and problems is not something you want as you're just starting out. To generate your passive income whilst you're driving your own truck is based on buying as many garages as possible until you feel comfortable. Now, other people might say to you, buy 5 garages, buy 10, buy 20. Do what makes you feel comfortable. At the end of the day, you will have to manage the extra burden of your driver's demands, the driver training, so just do what you can until you're happy with the income that your other drivers will generate for your trucking business. First of all, buying a new garage costs just as much as upgrading your existing garage you would have had in the beginning of the game. If you upgrade your existing garage, you are only adding 2 new driver slots compared to buying a new garage, which will offer you 3 new driver slots. And your first garage, buy it somewhere. As an example, you could head to places in the United Kingdom, which offer plenty of jobs within the same country, or base yourself in a city like Berlin. It's down to you and your own personal preference. I'm not saying you got to, but I would strongly avoid cities like Milan, especially in the beginning, as they are surrounded in all directions by road toll. And once you have your first new garage, you need to buy a few cheap trucks. Place them in the new garage and recruit drivers for them. It's that simple. Don't go buying fancy trucks because there's no need. Especially in the beginning. You're trying to generate money so you can progress forward. You don't want to hold yourself back by throwing money away on a really high-end truck, which you're not even going to drive yourself. It's going to be one of your own drivers. Yes, buy them a nice truck, but later on in the game, not straight away. When you start off though, the new trucks, the new drivers in your new garage, however wonderful it is, they will not, and I will repeat it again, they will not make money straight away. But you have to give them time, and they will develop into a money-making machine, earning enough money to cover the cost of your bank load, which in the meantime, you have to go out in your own truck and generate an income to make sure that you cover the costs of your bank. They will make a small profit eventually, whilst you are doing the higher paying freight job in your not so great first truck. It's a case of just rinse and repeat this process and give them time. The key here is time. Eventually, they will earn enough money to pay the loans or any debts, and then they will start making you a profit. Just rinse and repeat the process until you're happy with the amount of money you're making to take you forward. It's a no-brainer. Let's assume you've hired some drivers, you've been to the recruitment agency, they're all up and running, they're in your new garages, everything's going well, they're making money, but it's kind of not the sort of money you're expecting. It's probably because the training policy is wrong. What you need to do is go into your driver's manager screen and you will see their training policy is balanced, which is no good for you in the beginning. It really is no good for you because you want to get them up to those 3 bonuses as quick as you can. The same as you've done it on your own skill set, you want to make sure that their skill set is set up. So the first thing you need to do with your AI driver is make sure that they have long distance. Make sure they have 3 or 4 skill boxes before you change it. Just get them up. Just leave them to it, set it to long distance and just leave it. Come back maybe on the following day, or better still, here's a good tip for you. Pick yourself a day, maybe it's a Tuesday, and on that Tuesday, every week you visit the driver manager screen and you adjust the training accordingly on that day, because you're giving them a week, you're giving them time, which is our friend in ETS2, and that time they can generate more loads, they can generate more income, and it will give you a better perspective on actually how they are doing as a driver. The next thing, once you get your long distance out of the way, you want to make sure that your driver is trained somewhere like on fragile loads. You want at least 2 skill boxes for an AI driver. And then we move on to the high value loads. Once again, we're looking at least 2 boxes for an AI driver. And finally, your next skill to adjust would be the just-in-time skill box, where you're looking to get a minimum of 3 boxes to be filled. Once you get to that point, your driver will be making some good coin for you. The money will be flowing in. But it's up to you what you do next. You can carry on micromanaging their training, take the easy option and just set your training back to balanced, and you can forget about adjusting things anymore, because it will automatically be done for you, and then you can just move on to the next driver. In a tracker in ETS2, you need to learn to tweak everything. It's all down to personal preference on how you want to play the game, how much realism you want in the game. If you're brand new to ETS2, I recommend you tweak the gameplay options. It will save you money in the beginning, but then once you got some cash back in, you can turn those tweaks back on and experience much more of a realistic gameplay. The first thing you need to do is turn off the traffic offences penalties. The money you will lose by going through red lights, breaking speed limits, having crashes, causing damage can be quite expensive. But until you get used to the trucks, the way they handle, or how the map lays out for you, I would turn them off in the beginning. Not only does it save you cash, but it's a good way of kind of learning where you went wrong as well. I would follow that up by changing the rain probability. Even on the low setting, say even at 10%, it still rains a lot depending what country you are in. But on the other side, you want that in the game because it does add the more realism to it. And it also gives you some spectacular thunderstorms, rain clouds, scenery. It's up to you. Like I said, it's a personal preference thing. It's definitely not a guarantee. The next thing I would change will be down to the detours. Set it down to 0. Financially, this won't affect you if you are doing other people's jobs on the quick job screen. It will affect you when you do have your own truck. So once you're comfortable driving around the map, turn it back on, and it will add much more elements to your gameplay. Then we have the driver fatigue. In real life, truck drivers can only drive so long before they need to take a legal break rest. You can turn this off and you can literally go from one job to the next job to the next job to the next job without having to rest. The benefit financially, you gain in a shorter amount of time than what you would do as if you rested. The next thing you want to look at is the speed limiter. Trucks by law in Europe are governed to 90 kilometers per hour. If you're in the UK, it's 56 miles per hour. It's the same speed, just said differently. If you turn this off, you obviously have a greater risk of damage, crashing, causing accidents, missing things. If you leave it on, you definitely have a much more realistic gameplay. But once again, it's like a lot of things with these tweaks. It's all down to your personal preference. And on that note, if you follow the strategies in this video, you will definitely increase your income in ETS2 and your performance as a driver when it comes to skills. You will definitely make the game more enjoyable and rewarding. And I do hope you found this video helpful. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, or even check out other videos for more tips and tricks on ETS2.